Hi there, welcome to my channel on this beautiful corner of the internet. Eclipse season has begun, and you may already be sensing the intensities of the energies that eclipse seasons bring about. We are beginning this eclipse cycle with the solar eclipse on October 14th, 2023. Eclipse seasons always bring about some much fated changes and events that will help propel us forward towards our soul destiny and building our soul legacy. I invite you to check in on how you're feeling right now. How are you feeling in regards to any of these energetic frequencies and changes? Grant yourself some grace about anything that you're experiencing at this time. You are not alone. These energies are intense and they will propel you onto a higher path of your calling if you do decide to accept and work with these energies in specific ways that will help do so. I have my notes here of the messages that I am being guided to share with the collective from the beings of light. Tune into your own heart, your own spirit. What messages are meant for you at this time? This solar eclipse is a new moon in Libra, and bringing in the energies of the collective South Node is going to facilitate a specific release from our past that also may have heavy past life karma or energies that surround it. With this being a new moon, there is a new beginning that will open up. But first, we do have to allow ourselves to release something that feels very heavy to us. Perhaps it is something that we have really been holding on to. It's something that has been very dear to us or hard for us to let go. And the reason for this too is because this beginning that is coming through holds very big frequencies, very big meaning that aligns with your destiny and why your soul is here. So what I invite you to also think about with how the new moon is in the sign of Libra, the sun is in Libra, and also the South Node that this moon is conjunct with is also in Libra. So this is bringing in a lot of Libra energies at this time. And what I was being guided to share intuitively is that think of the scale of balance with Libra. Anytime something is removed or released around this time, it has to be rebalanced out. And I want to invite you to think about that when you are being guided to release something at this time that maybe you may not know what the outcome is going to be from releasing this, but it feels like something that is very dear to you, something that has resonated with you for quite some time, and the scales of balance will rebalance to bless us with a new beginning that will balance out the scale in which we have released something from. There is going to be what they are calling a ring of fire that will be surrounding the perimeter of this specific eclipse. The reason for this is because the sun is not going to be fully eclipsed, so there's going to be a border around this new moon. And what I am being guided to share about this is to think about how this new moon is going to be imbued with solar frequency energies. And when we think of the sun is the central to our solar system. When we think of the sun as well, astrologically speaking, in our birth charts, it's our identity, our expression, what revolves around our identity, or how we revolve our life around our identity. And so the moon also brings an intuitive emotional influence, and the invitation here is to think about what is emotionally eclipsing my identity or my soul self, or the way that I identify myself as in regards to my hopes, my dreams, my destiny. It's an invitation to dig deeper into our subconscious minds and release, cleanse, anything that is eclipsing who we truly are. It's also symbolic, showing that the shadow, there is always light behind it. Even if we can't fully see it at the same time, there's always a perimeter of light that is shining through. And if you feel like you're in a really dark time, a really dark season, or just in a lot of very shadowy energies within your journey at this time, I hope that this brings you a message of hope that your shadow integration will contribute to more of your internal life source and who you are, and uncover who you truly are. This is also a reason why, as well, you may feel like your shadows are being highlighted, are being illuminated, or perhaps coming out a bit more intensely, because it is so backed by these solar frequencies or energies that surround it at this time. One of the channeled messages that I received was that when new doors, energies, and opportunities open, please take them. What is fated when it emerges, even in human growth of uncomfortability? Know that what you are guided to release at this time will regenerate, and the scales of justice and karma will turn the wheel of fate to bring balance back to anything you deem a loss, release, or an empty space. So what this is bringing about is this theme of regeneration or revival. And the symbolism that I was guided to share as well with this message is about the Rose of Jericho. The Rose of Jericho is a plant that is a self-resurrecting plant. And what this message is coming through for the collective is a symbolism of hope, a symbolism of our deep transformation cycles, and to also think about how every single one of us has regenerative abilities. We cannot allow in something new unless we release something first, because there has to be energetic space for it. And it's all about that invitation to trusting. And when we get into more forward movement of steps where we get more comfortable in these energies, and it's something that we surrender to, or we intuitively create a muscle memory for and trust with our guides and with spirit, it does get easier as we continue to walk this path throughout time. What I am receiving as a message to help us at this time is to set intention with whatever you are guided to release or let go of, whatever might be aligning for you. Set the intention, speak it out loud, that I am now releasing this thing, fill in the blank of what you are releasing, and I am energetically accepting and open to the regeneration of self and of my external world reality that then will support this release. I hope that this affirmation and intention setting statement will perhaps help you in your release process. I personally am going to use it myself as well. A collective theme that I was receiving around this time is sensing that you are being divinely led to endings, void spaces, and beginnings. And where can all of these coexist together as a threefold space? What I was being asked to bring to light is how you will know that something is a divinely led transition space, a beginning, or an ending. And you will feel like it is something that you humanly are not setting intention for. You might feel resistance surrounding it at first too as well, because something that moves through intuitively sometimes can be a catalyst for shadows, fears that we are holding in order to allow in that intuitive nudge, that intuitive knowing, or that download, and then take that action step that is being guided for us, that is in alignment for us to do. So gauging where you're at this time and sensing within yourself where you're being led and what shadows it's bringing out within you, what uncomfortability, what fear, and surrender what comes up. Ask for help from the divine, ask for help from spirit, from your spirit guides. Invite in your spiritual allies, your helpers on the other side, however you identify with them, with God, the creator, with source. Surrendering help to the divine in times of major shifts and changes will help bring energetic support, and allowing yourself to be open to how this support comes through is the best ways that then you can learn that you can continue to ask for help in this way and ask for guidance. I am receiving that some of us will feel more consciously aware exactly of what we are being guided to let go of, or to sacrifice, to surrender, to have this new beginning. And others will just notice it as something being removed, or perhaps things that you used to do, people you used to interact with, things in your daily life might just start disintegrating or not working anymore. That is a sign that you are being guided to release this specific area of your life. The other theme that I was guided to talk about is this overall collective theme of removal of things that will not serve, or do not serve, or no longer serve your higher self, your highest path, or your destiny. These are things that may be obscuring your highest light essence or expression of self. This is an invitation as well to ask ourselves where we may be hiding certain parts of our essence. What are we hiding behind? Are we hiding behind certain themes, certain beliefs, certain ways of being? And how can we allow ourselves to sit with these themes, make friends with these shadows, so that we can surrender them to have more of our light shine through? Something that I'm being guided to share about this is to think about how when we see the symbolism of the eclipse and the moon is eclipsing the sun, it doesn't mean that the light of the sun is not there. And I invite you to think about that in regards to yourself. Your light is there. It's always been there. It's just about allowing this process of removal of what is obscuring your own light, and doing so with the highest love and compassion for yourself and the shadow itself. The theme that I am receiving to look for in regards to this shadow is it will feel like a safety blanket. It will feel like something cozy. It will feel like something that has kept you very safe. But the reality is that that safety can no longer coexist with who you're becoming on your path and aligning with your highest destiny. And this is a process. So allow yourself to unravel this. Don't feel that this has to be something that takes place on just this one day of the eclipse, because realistically also our processes take time, and also these eclipse energies may as well affect you in ways that spreads out and can take effect up to 6 months out. So the next energetic theme that I'm being guided to share, in similar fashion to where you may be obscuring parts of yourself, where do we perhaps obscure parts of ourselves in regards to relationships with other people, with union and collaboratives with others? Because the sign of Libra is about partnerships. It's about balanced partnerships and equality, justice, truth. What is an equal balance for both parties, not the same as tit for tat, petty energy. This is something that is a natural order of expression of the ways that our energies dance between ourselves and another. So the question that came through was to ask ourselves, where do we hide or obscure ourselves in regards to partnerships? And why this is important is because the parts of ourselves that we hide from others affects the balance in which we show up to an energetic exchange or collaboration. Every single partnership, union, connection that we have with someone is an energetic dance. And so if there is an imbalance in that connection because someone is hiding who they truly are, it's hard to extend that energetic invitation to the other party to do the same. And in the highest element of expression, one of the most beautiful things about connections is being able to show up authentically ourselves. It's also in the highest service, the highest alignment of the connection that we're in, and allowing this to build in the collective as well, connections that resonate in these frequencies. And the other question that came through to ask was, where do I fit or harmonize in my own light with others and in self-union of my higher self or my spirit, my soul? This question came through a little differently. What this came through was in the energy of, after many shifts and changes, someone stepping back and having this soul level and soul expression exchange of, who am I now after all these shifts and changes, and then how do I show up to other people? How do I harmonize in this new light to show up in partnerships with others? How do I do this in a way that feels harmonious between my physical self and my soul self, my higher self, in a way that balances who we truly are and is doing justice as well to how we're showing up to this connection in regards to somebody else? The next energetic theme that I was receiving is also in regards to what they were calling a deeper soul merge with our physical body and anchoring more of our higher selves into that of our physical avatar. And what this is also facilitating is that people at this time, whether consciously aware or just kind of subliminally sensing it or noticing things in your life rerouting, that is a sign that this is resonant for you, because I am seeing that with this shift and this change of people accessing deeper connection to their higher selves in their physical form, it's rerouting, shifting, and changing the blueprint of our higher plan. So this might look like or resonate with feeling a sense of a clean slate. Perhaps you feel like everything that you thought you were or where you were at has been wiped out, has been released. You're not too sure where you're going, but you get senses or nudges or knowings. This is a sign of that. And what I am receiving is that the best ways to kind of navigate these energies is to allow this deeper surrender to your higher self. This isn't so much a time for setting intentions as much as it's a time that's actually more supportive to allow our higher selves to take the wheel, to guide us, to show us what the higher plan is mapping out as at this time. I also feel that many of us may be rewriting certain plans, certain routes at this time. This is also okay. And this is also a reason why you may be being guided or called to more of this void space or transition space. The message I wrote down was that our higher selves, soul selves, hold the grid for the destined higher plan in which we wrote prior to incarnation. The more we can lean into that, the less resistance we feel during the changes. This is leading to some of us perhaps feeling rerouted or in the energies of unknown or off the path or prior plan, because what we signed on for, we may have completed elements and now we are moving into new plans. And the advice was to trust and to surrender to the highest potential outcome. I also know that that can be hard when perhaps you don't know what that highest potential outcome is or could be. Perhaps you have a hard time visualizing it, or perhaps you have a hard time aligning to exactly what that is. And what I'm being guided to share for advice on that is sometimes we don't have to know the full picture. Our human selves have that innate knowing of wanting to know, of wanting everything planned out. And our higher selves hold the grid for this plan and write the plan as we go as well. Plans shift and change. Our destiny, our soul legacy is a bit more pre-written, but the ways that we go about facilitating can shift and change. In terms of working with these energies actively, it's not so much a time that is as supported to actively manifest as much as it's more so a time to allow ourselves to move into the momentum of where we're being guided, of how things are aligning and falling into place. Whether they are endings, they are beginnings, it's a void space. And any connections to help us align to our higher selves through meditation or any other practices that allow you to get into that state of mind or state of being. And also actively allowing a mindful awareness of what shadows emerge at this time, because that is the very thing that's going to reveal the light that shines through for this new beginning in ways that things are going to start facilitating for us around this time. So those were all of the messages that I was guided to share at this time. If you have found this video helpful for you, it'd be an honor if you left a like on this video as a way to let me know that you have resonated here. I'd love as well if you subscribe to this channel, and if you would like to leave a comment down below. I love connecting with everyone. How are you sensing these energies? Which timeline of energies do you feel like you're in? Do you feel like you are seeing new beginnings pop up already? Are you sensing the endings, the transition space, or the void space? I could personally say I feel like I'm definitely merging between all three timelines in my own ways. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.